All right, folks, pull up your socks and adjust your nut cups because Mr. Gahan is here for this week's PE class. How's it going, mate?
Good, guys.
My
How
nut
you
cup
doing?
looks weird.
That cup looks like it had
it
looked like it had a
juicy.
sample of sorts in it. Yeah. Was it salty?
That's this one. This is the one with the sample in it.
That one.
I gave it to him yesterday.
It's the Frank Daft glass. Another one for your memoir.
Oh my God. How's it going, mate?
Good. Just briefly, I want to touch on the fact I saw Alien Romulus.
Yes.
And I did obviously listen to your thoughts on the film on last week's
Has Ben seen it yet?
Look, I'm not going to spoil a thing. I'm just going to say I pretty much enjoyed it. You know, like I did really enjoy aspects of it. And I think the problems I had with it were the same problems that you had with it, which weren't really major spoilers.
Yeah.
But, you know, overall I enjoyed it. It's probably, honestly, it's the most fun that I've had maybe with an Aliens film, possibly since Aliens, although I am quite partial to Alien Resurrection.
I don't know why that gets all the hate. I don't know why that gets the hate.
I don't know. I did see a scale of like Rotten Tomatoes aggregated scores, and weirdly enough, Resurrection was rating higher than Alien 3, which I was kind of like, well, there's that. That's kind of good. But I always felt like it copped the most disdain of the franchise prior to the Alien versus Predators and the Ridley Scott.
Didn't Romulus look great?
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. All I want to say is that aside from the fact that it was a very young cast, which I kind of had this whole thing. I remember when I was making short films when I was young and speaking to a friend of mine who was 10 years my senior, who said to me, you need to cast older people in your films because it doesn't work for anyone outside of that sort of age bracket sort of thing. And I was just like scratching my head going, what? And then when I watched this, I was like, oh my God, it's just like, it is such a young cast.
But if you go back to like the films that we grew up with, they were young and they just looked old.
But they didn't look like, when you watch Alien, they might have been like, some of them might have been in their 20s, but they looked like they were in their, they were in their 40s. I mean, Tom Skerritt's never looked young, even in The Devil's Reign. So no, on the whole, I enjoyed it. I'm glad that it got a theatrical release, unlike Prey, which obviously only did a preview for media and that.
Yep.
So I'm glad that this one did get a theatrical, and God, it's proven. It's done incredible box office. So yeah, hopefully Disney see fit to give these things a bit of a bigger chance at getting a theatrical. But yeah, I just wanted to, and the other one I do want to mention that has popped up on streaming, which I know I brought up with the two of you guys, was Jackpot, which I wish got a theatrical because like this is probably, I hate to say it, probably my second favorite film of the year after Fall Guy. And it's the same reason why, because it just works. It's funny, it's action-packed, it's enjoyable, it's escapism. And yeah, I think Awkwafina's fantastic. I think she's such a talented lead because she's so likable, but at the same time could be cynical. And there's something instantly charming. And
say,
her and John Cena.
I do not like her at all. Nothing about her appeals to me whatsoever.
You didn't like Quiz Lady?
I don't like
her in Quiz Lady?
I don't like her in anything. And it's just me. Like, obviously she's, resonating with people, but she grates on me. She grates on me so much.
I really like. I have not done Nora from Queens, her series, but that's the next thing I'm going to do because I've liked her bit parts and stuff. But Quiz Lady got me over the line with her, and then this last one. But Jackpot, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, John Cena cops a lot of shit, but I mean, he's probably in the consistently like funny, comedies. Like outside of that fire one that he did, which I didn't realize was essentially a kids' film.
Playing with fire
blindly to that was awful.
Yep.
But it was a kids' film. I did not know that going in. But everything else, like Ricky Stenicki, those vacation movies, whatever they call them, I don't know what they're called, those vacation time, whatever the hell they are, the Hulu movies. He's consistently entertaining in these comedies. I don't know. His
Peacemaker is great.
I haven't done Peacemaker. I'm definitely going to do that now.
He's great in Trainwreck. Like he's so much funnier.
I know.
Than what's her name, the lead of Trainwreck.
everyone in Trainwreck, all the other people, like even I can't remember the comics, Dave Attell, who plays like the homeless guy that's outside a building or whatever, is funnier than anyone that's actually got a legitimate role in the film.
He was genuinely hilarious in the last Fast and Furious as well. Like he brought real comic relief.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah. And let's not forget Daddy's Home 2, which is an incredible sequel. I mean, he does pop up at the end of Daddy's Home, but Daddy's Home 2, yeah, terrific, fucking great film. Jesus. You know. Anyway, guys, so home entertainment, what's coming out this week? Well, pretty much one distributor releasing titles this week. Admittedly, they're very good titles, though. It's ViaVision. They've got some that are coming out under the ViaVision line, and then the others coming out under Imprint. And I know you're going to be super ecstatic about the first one I'm going to mention because it's the Substitute Collection featuring all 4 of the Substitute films, and 3 and 4, I think, are the global Blu-ray debuts.
I've only just put together an article about it.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So, yeah, Tom Berenger, obviously, in the first one, and then Treat Williams in 2 and 3. And then I don't know, is he in the fourth one? Yeah. He is in the fourth. Yeah. Of course, no one else was calling. His phone wasn't.
Number 4 is all a military academy, and it's completely different.
Of course. So they're pretty much, it's almost like one of those sniper films where, they've added something below it just to tie it in.
And I think from memory, and correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, but Treat Williams in part 2, he's doing like commando roles like the rest of the guys, and by 4, he's not really doing so much of the action.
No, because he's retired in number 4. You see?
No, yeah, he's like a consultant. He's too old for this shit. But of course, ViaVision putting it out, 4-disc set. It's got one of those rigid boxes with lenticular covers, so it's a really nice release.
And interestingly, number 4 is the one that's got the commentary, the audio commentary.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, well, I guess if you're going to do it on one of the later installments, because there's probably a lot to be said about, well, this isn't so good, but it's great that we got another movie out of this franchise.
I am far more interested in like a commentary on part 4 than any of the other sequels. Another title you're going to talk about in a moment, same thing. Like the commentary on the subsequent film is more interesting to me than the first one.
Well, that's it, because there's so much been said, particularly about the Berenger one and, the first few sequels. It's always those later ones that kind of get lost.
Yep.
So, it's great. So the next one, I'm assuming, would be the Smokey and the Bandit collection?
Okay.
It is just a trilogy set on Blu-ray. There is a, I think 7-film set. I think it's 7 films.
Yeah, I've got that on DVD. I've got that.
Yeah.
And I've got the other Blu-ray triple pack they did previously.
Yeah. This is just, there's probably no HD masters for parts 4 through, 7, because they were made for TV. They were obviously shot on 35, but I don't think anyone's gone to the effort of rescanning the negs and, doing something with that. But anyway, that one's coming out, of course, got a lenticular cover and that. Look, I'm good. I've got the DVD set myself. Probably don't need to upgrade all of the other films. I do have the first on 4K. And look, if they release 2 and 3 on 4K, I'm first in line, but I don't need to buy them on Blu-ray.
I'm a massive fan of the trilogy. Yeah. I even love part 3. That's no surprise to most people, but I think it's a genuinely good movie. It's got a curiosity factor about it. It's good.
Yeah, and it was a theatrical feature too. Okay, so that one's coming out. Then we've got. Now I am curious as to which one you're talking about, because the next few are like basically just individual movies that are being packed in these lenticular slipcover kind of editions. Pandorum, which is that sci-fi feature that, it's kind of a curio piece. It's kind of been lost and now rediscovered. Lords of Salem.
I remember when it came out. I remember when it came out at DVD collection, I imported a bunch of it and no one gave a shit. I had to return like 20 copies of...
It was one of those films too that did sort of get released here, but there was such a long window between its international release and its local release as well. But I remember it going theatrical because I was in the States when it was out theatrically. I don't know if it did go theatrical here or whether it went straight to home in. I don't know. It might have been an Icon release back in the day. I can't remember. It was that long ago. Then the other ones, the Imprint ones. Now, was the other one you were going to mention a ViaVision release?
Yeah. Maybe I've got my weeks wrong, but it was American Psycho.
Oh, no, that is still coming. Yes, that's still coming.
Okay.
American Psycho,
yes. Thought it was next week, but the number 2 has a commentary. It's Mila Kunis and the director, whose name is Morgan Freeman.
It's amazing. I've never seen American Psycho 2 with Mila Kunis. All American Girl. I haven't been there, but I'm pretty sure I might have asked ViaVision for a sample of American Psycho can't be sure. So if I did, I will definitely be checking it out. But the imprint releases that are coming out through ViaVision, just going to skim through these because there's quite a few. There's Cinnamon, The Taming of the Shrew, Women of Straw, which I think is the one that's going to be of most interest to you, Ben, because that's got your boy Sean Connery in it. Jessica Banning, Crossplot. Crossplot's another one that I think might be of interest to you, Ben. I've got a feeling that might be like a... Is it Roger Moore or someone like that in it? It feels like it's a bit
it is.
Like a espionage spy, possible comedy kind of film. So, yeah, looks like it might be your bag.
I just have to get over the fact that I try hard, but I really generally dislike Roger Moore, which is really weird. But I just he just comes across as so smug. Like that's why I love him in the Cannonball Run movies, because he's constantly getting the shit beaten out of him.
He's getting his ass handed to him.
So, but even like going all the way back to Maverick, where he turned up in Maverick, and
the TV series Maverick,
why he was British. Yeah, the original card play, with
James Coburn,
with James Garner.
James Garner, that's it. Yeah,
the guy who played his brother.
To back it up, I'm just looking at the ViaVision's website. They've got the August 28th release for American Psycho.
So maybe it is.
Yeah,
maybe it is.
So I think it's next week.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, no,
that's this week, I should say.
Yes, I had a feeling that maybe it was dropping around the same time as the Dread release, which is going to be the 4K release as well.
But in the past, ViaVision's release dates on their website have been like a week out from other retailers. So
okay, so there's every likelihood we might discuss that another day, another week perhaps. That's all the imprint titles. Now, I did want to tell you about a Focus film. It's actually, I don't really have guilty pleasures. We've all discussed,
you like or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. I like it, and I'm the kind of person that goes on Letterboxd and say I enjoyed The Holdovers, but I'll probably give it or maybe I gave it 3.5, but I'll probably give 3.5 to Weekend at Bernie's as well, because I enjoyed them for different reasons. I'm not going to go... Yeah, exactly. So this film is, it sits on an awful rating on IMDb. But I've loved it ever since video, and it's House of Seven Corpses.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this has just been released through Dark Force Entertainment, who it's not the easiest to get their releases. They were kind of in cahoots with Code Red, and anyone that remembers Code Red, they would open their web store to sell releases periodically, and then, they'd be open for maybe 12 hours and then not reopen for another 3 weeks. So you pretty much had to get in when you could, order what you wanted, and probably spend more than you needed because you kind of wanted to hit that free shipping threshold. Anyway, they've released House of Seven Corpses, and I was so excited. They'd done it in 4K. Previously, it's been out through Severin before. And I mean, it is shot on 35. The print's pretty rough, but they've done as best as they can with it. And it's no doubt the best it's ever looked. Probably not a film that need be on 4K, let's face it. It does port all the Severin features over, as well as adds a new commentary track. But the commentary track is with Demon Dave and, I don't know, his mate who run Dark Force. So it's not probably something I'm going to be desperately listening to. Just his mate, yeah. Savage.
Just a couple of guys talking over
some guy. Randy Cognata. I don't know. He's probably an MMA wrestler or something, because I don't know. Anyway, it does have a glow-in-the-dark slipcover, which is really quite nice. But this one does have John Carradine in it, which is amazing. It's very much an early 70s haunted house type feature. Relies a lot more on atmosphere and dread than it does actually showing you much, but I fucking love it. And John Carradine's perfectly John Carradine in it. You can tell he's probably drunk the entire time through the film, but he plays his kooky character extremely well. But yeah, it's one of those kind of films that if you do want to get this 4K, you're just going to have to start following Dark Force on social media and maybe set an alert for when they make a post, because the window of opportunity is brief. And I believe this is going to be their last 4K release as well. They ventured into 4K, and despite them seemingly selling out of these 4Ks constantly, they said, we're not doing any more 4K because it costs too much to do, and we just don't have the sales to back it up. And I'm like, but the things are selling out. And if you don't get it during the first run on their website, these things do end up, they're not cheap. They're about $60, Australian.
It's like a proverbial game.
But they do end up selling
chairs.
for about $100 to $150 on the eBay aftermarket after release. But anyway, House of Seven Corpses, as Danny liked to say, she goes significantly less than Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses or whatnot. But look, seven's a good number. 7 monkeys on my uncle's ranch eating lots of sunflower. Something along those lines anyway. But gentlemen, that's it for me this week. So until next time,
stay physical.
Stay physical.